to my channel. So I'm just coming to you guys because I am having bariatric surgery. So the surgery that I'm having done in particular is VSG, which is short for vertical sleeve gastrectomy. It took me a while to come to this decision that this is something that I want to do for myself. I just want to let you know that I thought about this for at least a year before I came to this decision, weighed the risks, the different options, before I finally came to the decision that this is what I wanted to do. So I just wanted to take you all along with me through this journey as I enter this new chapter of my life. So what led me to want to have this surgery? So I have pretty much been a lifetime dieter, as you could say. I have pretty much tried every diet that there is out there. I have tried Weight Watchers, I have tried keto, I have tried the green smoothie cleanse, I have done intermediate fasting. Pretty much I've done everything possible. I've worked with the trainer. I've done everything possible I can to lose the weight. Now I want you to know I have lost the weight, but the issue has been maintaining that weight loss for me, because I just get to this point where I would plateau, and I would plateau for months at a time, still doing what I'm supposed to do, but nothing changed on the scale, clothing size, because I don't just go by the scale, I go by my measurements, how my clothes fit, because you don't always lose just the weight. Sometimes you don't lose just weight. You may notice the difference when you do your measurements. So I always do my measurements. But it just got to the point where I was not losing weight. And that actually happened after I had my daughter. Is when all of that started happening. Beforehand, I did this whole diet, lost a ton of weight, got down to my goal weight. I was down to like 160 something, and I was like the happiest I had ever been. Going to college, I was still around that. I gained, you know, that freshman 15, like all of us do, gained that weight, but I was still a decent size. I was still happy with myself. It wasn't until after I had my daughter is when I struggled to lose the weight. I would lose some weight, then gain weight back, lose, then gain, lose, then gain. It was just, I don't know, was my hormones still are out of whack? I don't know what it is, but I have really struggled to lose the weight. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try one last thing, and if that does not work, then I am going to pursue other options, and that did include surgery. So I did work with the trainer, did a whole meal plan, did that for a while. The weight started to come off, and then I got to this place where, again, I plateaued and the weight was not coming off. And I did not know what to do, because in the midst of all of that, I had been struggling with depression and anxiety, which did contribute to some of the weight gain. I'm not gonna lie, that did contribute to the weight gain, because your girl was not paying attention to what she was putting in her mouth. I was just eating, not eating to eat, but I was just eating, not paying attention to what I was putting in my mouth, eating things that I know that I should not be having if I'm trying to go through this weight loss journey. So I researched different surgeries. First, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give me a mommy makeover, get lipo and all of that done. But I'm like, wait, if I get lipo, I do all of this, do the whole mommy makeover, what's gonna stop me from gaining the weight back after the surgery if I'm not taking the proper precautions beforehand? Because I can have that surgery and gain the weight right back. Like, I've seen it happen with plenty of people. They get the surgery, they gain the weight back, because you have to keep the weight off. Now that you have the surgery, you got to keep the weight off. You got to eat right, you still got to work out, you got to do all these things to keep the weight off. So what's going to stop me from gaining the weight back? Like, seriously, what's going to stop me from gaining the weight back? Because I was doing the same thing before, working out, eating right, but the weight wasn't coming off. Sometimes I would gain weight, especially if it was that time of the month. I was retaining weight, and then I would try to lose it, and I was struggling to lose that. It was a hot mess. So I'm like, what is to keep that from happening? So I looked into other things. I know my mother, she had the gastric bypass done when I was really young, and then she had a revision done when I was like in high school, and that was because of a medical reason, not because she wanted to get a revision done. It was because she had to get it done because she had her surgery done years ago, like when I was a little kid. So she just had some complications, so she had to get a revision done, and she was dropping the weight. And I just remember going through that process, everything she had to go through, the nutritional visits, everything that she had to go through to prepare herself to go through that procedure. And yes, my mom, she did put some of the weight back on, but she is nowhere near where she was. Like, my mom looks good, okay? She looks good. So I'm like, okay, maybe I should go this route. So I did my research. So the two surgeries there are is the gastric bypass, and then there is the vertical sleeve. So I researched both of them to try to figure out which one is the best for me. So the gastric sleeve is actually when they cut a portion of your stomach, which I'll have a photo of it up here for you guys so you can see. So they cut a portion of your stomach out. They do it laparoscopic. Just make sure I'm saying that correctly. Okay, yeah, they do that. So they're not actually cutting you open. So they take out part of your stomach, stitch you up. Boom, that's what it is. They take out a portion of your stomach. It's like a little pouch, kind of shaped like a little banana. So it really just controls how much you can eat at a time, versus the gastric bypass, which I'll have a photo of that here as well. So I can explain that to you. So the difference between the gastric bypass, it does help you lose weight, and you're going to lose more weight with the gastric bypass than you will with the vertical sleeve. That's just natural way it is, because it is more invasive to do the gastric sleeve versus the gastric bypass, than to do the vertical sleeve. So what they do with the bypass is it does create a pouch as well. Second, because I looked this up for you guys, just make sure I give you the correct information. So what happens with the bypass is, I'm just gonna read this off for you guys so you can get the exact definition of what the bypass is. So the bypass actually creates a small pouch from the stomach, connecting the newly created pouch directly to your small intestines. So after this surgery, when you swallow food, it will go into the small pouch of your stomach and then directly into the small intestines, thereby bypassing most of your stomach and the first section of your small intestines. So it is more invasive surgery. I think the healing process for that one is longer than the sleeve, but you can lose more weight with that. Now, but I did do my research for both of them and try to figure out which one I felt was the best for me. My issue, I know, is that sometimes I can't tell the difference between just being full and being stuffed. Sometimes my issue is that I go beyond being full to being stuffed, because I'm like, okay, I can't feel the difference. I don't know if that makes sense. For some y'all ladies who know, you know what I'm talking about, where it's just feeling the difference between full and stuffed. So with the sleeve as well as with the bypass, you will get that feeling, okay, I am full, I have to stop eating now. Or because if you don't, baby, you will be in so much pain, because it really does stop you from overeating, which is the issue that a lot of us do have, is that we do have an issue with food. Like, hey, let's just be real about it. For me, it's not the working out. When I work out, I work out. It's the food portion that I have issue with. It's the food. So I decided to go that route. So I already went to my first consultation, and he broke down, of course, the difference between the two surgeries, through my medical history, just asking me questions about how my day-to-day is as far as me eating, how much do I drink, workout, and he recommended which one would be the best for me. He did agree with my decision to have the sleeve. He did advise me that I do have the option to do both. I can do the sleeve or the bypass. I chose to do the sleeve, and he agreed that he felt that the sleeve was a good option for me. So he agreed with my decision to have the sleeve, which I am so grateful for. So I just wanted to take you guys along with me on this journey, as I start this new journey of my life. I am really excited to do this. I know it's weird, you're excited to have surgery, but y'all, I have struggled with my weight my entire life. When I say my entire life, since I was a little kid, I've always struggled with my weight. From having people tell me that, family members telling me that I need to lose weight, you're getting too big, as a kid. Now imagine hearing that as a kid. What do you think that's going to do to you? And unfortunately, that's what happened to me. Like, it was hard. It was emotional. It was just very emotional, having to deal with that as a kid growing up, feeling like, oh, I'm just fat, I'm a blob, I need to do this, I need to do that. Like, y'all, I'm not even going to front. It was times where I would starve myself because I was trying to lose weight. I went through a lot. Like, I don't even think I ever told my mom that. Oh my god, I never told my mom that yeah, y'all, in high school when I lost all that weight during the summertime, I'm not gonna lie, some of the days I didn't eat at all. Like, maybe all I ate was dinner, but I would just work out like crazy throughout the day, and I just wouldn't eat. I never told anybody that, but it was very emotional growing up. Oh god, I want to get too deep into it but yeah, it took a lot of reflection to get to this point where I'm in a good enough place to go through this process, because this is a very long process before you even get to have the surgery. It's a lot that you have to do, and I will talk about that in another video, because it is a lot, and I want to be able to go more in depth with that with you all. But it is a long process. It's a good, at least depending on your insurance, a good 3 to 6 months before you can have the procedure, because it is a lot of hoops that your insurance company does want you to go through, and then there are things that your doctor or whichever hospital that you go to is going to require as well. So it is a long process, because they do just want to make sure that when you go through this process that you're going to continue this throughout your life, because this is a life-changing, this is a tool. It's not going to, oh, I had the surgery and I'm magically going to be skinny for forever. No, you have to work out, you have to eat right, just like you would in your normal life. But it is going to help to keep you from overeating, from just having things that you're not supposed to have, pretty much. And we're gonna go into more depth about that, what that can cause, what can happen if you're eating sugary things that you know you should not be eating after you have this surgery, because we're gonna go into depth about that too. Because if you decide to go through this journey, I just want to make sure that you guys know everything that can happen on the other side of this surgery, and what the process is like going through it. So I can't wait to take you guys along with me on this journey to a new and better improved me. Bye.